2017 Road King Special. Let's see what this thing can do. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, I'm Scratch and I'm on a 2017 Road King Special. Thanks again, Emerald Coast Harley Davidson. It's this awesome green color. I'm going to get off and walk around it and give you a look-see. What differentiates the Road King Special from the stock Road King? Well, no windshield for one. For another, it's got ABS standard. And for another, it's got a blacked out engine. But it still has that Milwaukee 8 engine. This is the 107, and it is so sweet. Now keep in mind, this review comes to you from the standpoint of a relatively new rider and someone who just within the last year has become acquainted with Harley Davidson, so I'm learning along with you. So I'm not going to give you a bunch of tech specs and all this kind of stuff because frankly I wouldn't know what the hell I was talking about. But what I can tell you is what this thing feels like, what it feels like coming from a middleweight dual sport to a Harley Davidson touring size bike. Much bigger engine, much more responsive engine. And whether this is something that might suit you. Now, as we all know, there are different bikes for different things. And there are some bikes that do everything pretty well. I would put the Road King in that category for sure. And that you can absolutely tour on it. You can add a windscreen. It comes with the side bags, pretty good size. You can add a tail bag and you could tour wherever you want. You could go across the country on this motorcycle. But what surprised me about it, well, two things. This 107 engine is amazing. Harley Davidson did some work when they released these engines a year or so ago, a couple years ago now, I think. They're so well balanced. But this thing is, yeah, it's responsive. It's relatively nimble. Easily commute on this thing. Easily cruise on this thing. The engine is just so smooth, and that sound. Again, you know, I'm not a guy who's ridden Harleys all his life by any means. I mean, I've only been riding myself a couple years, period. But what you've always heard from Harley guys is the need to, in their estimation, to put aftermarket pipes on it to get more of that sound that they want. But I'm telling you, this thing right out of the gate sounds awesome. And that reputation from people who don't know Harley Davidson, that it's old technology, this, that, and the other, that's absurd. Now with this Milwaukee 8 engine, I could ride this thing all day. If you're coming from a sport bike to any of the Milwaukee 8 engines, this power is going to be familiar to you, I'm telling you. No, it's not going to be. It's not as light as a sport bike, obviously. But it is there. On these 107 engines, the power is there from the second you crack the throttle, from the bottom to the top of the rev range. And it's a very comfortable seating position. It's just a little forward of mid-range. It's got the floorboards. So if you've sat on a Harley in the past and you maybe it was stretched out in the front and that didn't suit you. Of course, you can have that change, but nonetheless, this is a very comfortable riding position. I love it. Now jump off real quick up here and do a quick GoPro walk around on it. '17 Road King Special. You can see it's blacked out. It's not all chromed out. Just enough chrome on it to make the black stand out. It looks so awesome. The green color is absolutely gorgeous. I hope the GoPro does it some justice. LED headlights. No windscreen. You can add one if you want it. I'm amazed. I've had this thing, I haven't like raced it, but I've been up to 70 miles an hour, and for whatever reason, there's not a ton of buffeting on this bike. And the wheels, let me see if I can get in a little closer on the wheels. The wheels are really cool. I don't know if you can see that. Just everything about this bike says I was meant to be ridden a lot. And of course you got the twin bags. They've been modified a little bit. They're a little bit bigger. As you can see, the scallop here, and so they're a little deeper as they come around the pipes. You got tons of room in there. And then of course you can always add a backrest and a tail bag should you want it, or a trunk, a touring trunk. I'm under attack from bugs. It's a beautiful bike, and it freaking rides awesome. If you're not used to a heavy bike, you might wonder, can I get used to it? Well, here's the thing. Right, I just popped that up, no problem. Yeah, I'm a little bit bigger guy. I mean, I'm not huge. 6'1", 220. But I didn't do that on strength. This thing is balanced so well. As soon as you start rolling, the weight just falls away. Man, this motor wants to run. 2017 Road King Special. Emerald Coast Harley Davidson, you're not getting this bike back. Shift. Oh my God. Yanked my shoulders out. I told you. I'm not an expert. That was not the bike. That was definitely the rider. Oh man. This thing is awesome. If you're looking for a bike that you could travel the country if you wanted to, go away for the weekend with a friend if you wanted, cruise around your town, commute to your job. It's something else that doesn't get mentioned enough. Harley Davidson has an amazing fit and finish. One of the knocks against Harley from people who don't know Harleys or have never ridden Harleys is they think they're overpriced, not worth the money, and they have service issues. I'm telling you, there haven't been service issues with these bikes for a long time. And the fit and finish, the paint alone, is absolutely gorgeous. This is a solid, stable, reliable bike. And I know you probably get sick of hearing me say it, but this Milwaukee 8 engine, this 107, is a beast. Emerald Coast Harley Davidson is on Beale Parkway in Fort Walton Beach. You can test ride anything you want if you happen to be in the area. Stop by. I'm going to get on another of the Softails here soon, the new Softail line that's been redesigned. They also have the Milwaukee 8 engines on them. And the power to weight ratio on the Softail line with this Milwaukee 8 is insane. God, I love this engine. All right, that does it for this one. 2017 Harley Davidson Road King Special. Blacked out. Amazing bike. I'll see you on the next noob review. I'm gonna go have some fun.